Hello and welcome back. Well, recently I have seen some rather interesting comments pretty much everywhere, including on my channel, regarding these two games. People were pretty much arguing about them, so I have decided, well, let's actually take a look at both of these games, pretty much side by side in most of these cases, and well, let's actually see what's pretty much making them unique and separate on both of their respective ways. Now, first off, let me just show the settings that I'm gonna be using. I'm using maximum settings, of course, for both of these games at the same time. And of course, I will not play mostly like this. Like most of the time, I'll be focusing on one game and then on the other. And well, I will start with Punishing Grey Raven, since well, that's the game that pretty much most of people have been talking about recently. And well, here we are. The game is pretty much darker in color. On the upper left corner, you can see that indeed I was running both of them at the same time. So just to clear that out. On the upper right corner, you can see the frame rate. I did put that there just because, well, why the hell not, to see how the game runs, since the developers pretty much allow that kind of stuff. And well, overall, when you pretty much log into the game, you can pretty much see that you're greeted with a darker scenery. You're greeted with your structure waiting for you on the bridge, or should I say waiting on you in the office. On the upper left corner, you can see the level, and of course my name and my ID. On the lower part, we can see the friend list, the pretty much banners and stuff like that. So when you tap on the character, you can pretty much go into the character menu. You can pretty much inspect her closely. Okay, that's looking interesting. You can also change the costumes for each character that you have. Pretty much most costumes are farmable, or should I say all costumes are farmable if you are pretty much how do you call it, if you farm enough. And well, on the upper right side, we can see the stamina, black cards, and money. But I'll start with the upper left corner, and well, here you can see my level, pretty much my ID, and you can see pretty much most of the stuff about me. These are the missions that you can complete as you pretty much complete these tasks that you have. These are my lineup that I put on display, and the badges which you can unlock by doing certain stuff in the game. Well, interesting. So like I said, below the level and stuff like that, we can see the event menu, and you can see here that you can also complete these types of missions. This is also the news banner. Here we can be informed about new updates, new stuff, new in general, new content. And also regarding the banners, most of the banners are going to be displayed here, like a heads up. So today we have as Live or Live Hope as the 70% banner to be, well, you have 70% more chance to get her. The friend list invites, and pretty much recents. Pretty much if you play co-op, the people you play co-op with are going to be placed in the recents, and the daily login menu, where you can pretty much get some little bonuses, login bonuses when you log in and stuff like that. Alright, well that was nice. Now on the below that you can see the banner which you can open with the browser, which I'm not going to do right now, since I don't wanna open the browser. Gotta protect my browsing history, right? Here you have the settings, the sound, the graphics. I run the maximum settings, of course, as you can see here. Everything is maxed out. Below we have controls. This game does support controllers natively. You can pretty much change the settings and layout of the overview as you like. And of course, here is the controller menu. It supports Xbox 360 and PS4 controllers. Pretty much something that other games ban you for using. This game pretty much is allowing you to use controllers without the fear of being banned. And of course, here you have some other settings. You can adjust the screen, you can adjust the damage numbers, the damage ally numbers, your own damage numbers. You can even disable damage and so on. Pretty much stuff that you wanna turn on and off depending on your needs. So yeah, that was about the settings. Now next to the settings, we have the mail. Here you can pretty much see all the different mails that you can get in the game, login mails, compensations, and stuff like that. And here on the bottom left, we can see the armory menu, pretty much where you can tamper with your structures and you can gear them, pretty much gear them out, remove gear and level them up, and so on and so forth. You can access their deeper characteristics, level ups and stuff like that. You can pretty much level up their skills and again similar. And of course you can find the training area, of course, which is really interesting and unique to the game, where you can pretty much test out the character and test out the skill, which I'm about to show you how it actually looks. So this is the training area where you jump in and pretty much test out the skills and pretty much learn how to use the character, learn all different combos and basics. As you can see on the left side, you have this floating window pretty much telling you what combos to use. So it pretty much in her case, it tells me to use yellow plus weapon plus basic attack, and it tells me to use blue signal plus yellow signal plus basic attack. Of course, you can mix them up how you like. These are just their basic forms of combos that you can do. Of course, you can be creative and you can tamper with them. For example, I use like three blue plus 3 red plus 3 yellow for maximum possible damage on this character. And of course you can pretty much experiment with it. This game is extremely free to play friendly. Like you can pretty much get high ranks without having to wail. That's one of the unique aspects of the game. All characters are reliable. Even your starter characters are actually really good, and you can pretty much use them for most of stuff without any problems. And well, here you can choose the outfits for your structure or waifu, depending on how you actually categorize them. That's up to you. And all the different structures have the different really interesting looking outfits and modes, of course, and all of these are farmable. Of course, if you want to get them faster, you can use real money, but every structure, every costume is farmable, and all costumes pretty much are unique to their design. Some of them kinda depends on your liking. I pretty much like the basic costumes. This one is also looking nice, which I might go for. I don't know, depends. And well, when you tap on the icon here, you can pretty much see the deeper details into the character. You can pretty much view the history of the character's gear, the damage modes, the pretty much damage type, if it's support, if it's like guard, or if it's a healer. In this game we have like 3 classes. We have like healers, we have protectors, and we have DPS. Pretty much it defines their specific purpose. Like the one that is used for guarding does have the shield icon. The medic has the classic medic icon, and the DPS has the classic sword icon. So pretty much they have their own uses. Now that was the event menu that you could see. Really interesting. We're about to play that. And this is the pretty much main story, farm area, farm stages, events, and other extra stuff that we can play, including the challenge stages, which are actually really challenging and really difficult, and require skill, which other games kinda don't. Other games kinda require more wailing, not skill. These are the dorms. Really interesting little aspect of the game. Here you can pretty much pet the chibis. You can pretty much put them into the closet. You can pretty much loot them. I mean, you can pretty much sleep with them and stuff like that. Jokes aside, interesting enough, when you put the chibi in the bed, right? You can't put 2 chibis in the same bed, which is interesting. Looks like those developers don't push the Yuri. That's good. That's a thumbs up from me, definitely. And I often joke around and I often say that the place next to the structure is for the commander. So again, I mean, you can loot them, and yeah, you actually can. So that's interesting. Alright, well, jokes aside, you can pretty much get presents from the structures as you pretty much satisfy their needs. And of course, if you pretty much satisfy other needs for the structures, especially for the girls, yeah, you get special stuff regarding that. You can see the banners over here, supply crates, weapon crates, and stuff like that. Pretty kind of fair. It's not rigged so far I'm aware of. I have to do some deeper inspecting. Now here on the main menu, you can pretty much change the structure that's gonna be on the main menu. And well, when you tap on the structure and when you go in that little aspect, you can pretty much see the structure extra story, affection story, the gifts that you can give them to increase the affection, and pretty much other details about the character like age, weight, date of birth, blood type, and stuff like that. Here you can unlock some extra dialogues and extra details and secrets about the structure, and over here you have the extra dialogues. What is really interesting, each of these characters has like 100 different voice lines and dialogues, and more will be added into the game. So far I'm aware of in the future. This is the mission menu, or was the mission menu, where you can pretty much accept missions and stuff like that. And now for the event. Well, this is the event. This is the Babylon Tower event, and well, time to kind of start to play this game. Since I've been like talking for 10 minutes without any gameplay, well, holy shit, time to give some gameplay. Now, you have like these different types of events. I will be playing those that I pretty much think are the best looking. And well, we see here the farming stages. You can pretty much farm most of the stuff here. Everything is farmable. Top tier memories are farmable. You can obtain top tier level gear for free just by playing the game, and that's a fantastic aspect of the game. Well, now you can see the level design over here, which is absolutely amazing. I did praise this game before. Like I said, another technical detail. This game is running on the latest Unity engine. That means you can expect some fantastic details and some fantastic frame rate, as you can see on the upper right corner. It is pretty much 60 frames per second most of the time. So that's fantastic. Not other competitors can achieve the same lovely frame rate that this game can do. And interestingly enough, Kuro Games isn't that much of a big studio actually. Like, it's not a big company. They're fairly new to the field of ARPG. Since, as far as I'm aware of, this is their first actual 3D ARPG game on mobile. And so far, holy fuck, they actually nailed it. Like, they fucking nailed it overall. Overall frame rate, performance, graphics is fantastic. No one can deny that. Like, overall, this is pretty much the highest graphical quality ARPG game on mobile so far, without denying. There is just no talking about it. And not to mention, they achieved super smooth frame rates with those graphics. Again, some games don't achieve that, unfortunately. And we're about to get that more in the second part of the video. And here you can farm the nuts. Yeah, you heard me correctly. You can farm actual nuts. Besides giving nuts to the girls, you know what I mean. You can pretty much farm nuts as exchange material. So that's also really that nuts are actually your currency over here. Oh boy, if nuts were currency, I'd be a millionaire actually. Holy shit, I didn't think about that. Interesting. Alright, jokes aside, sorry for that. Again, those were the farming stages. You can pretty much farm most of the stuff. This here, what you will see me playing a bit later. It is the Warzone endgame content, which is also pretty nice, runs pretty smooth, and overall is pretty challenging and actually free to play friendly at the same time, which is also really interesting. Interestingly enough, I'm about to play the so-called Babylon Tower. Interestingly enough, in this game you don't get rewarded with black cards or with the premium currency as you get high ranks. No, everyone gets the same amount of black cards despite the rank. It matters that you clear it. It doesn't matter what you rank get, or your score pretty much doesn't matter. Even if you like get one score, if you clear the stage, you will still get the same amount of premium currency as people who are like top tier and people who are on the top of the food chain in the game. So again, absolutely free to play friendly. There's no denying about that, and that's really good from the developers that they actually did that. It is actually pretty fair looking at it from this perspective. So whaling in this game will not get you far if you want to be rich in terms of the game currency. which is something that other game companies should learn, and also something that other game companies don't do, is pretty much that this game's current at this very moment, all characters are viable. Even the B ranks are actually good, like really good. The reason why I'm not using them is because at first when I started to play the game, I pretty much got everything I need. Like these characters that you see that I'm currently using, I did get them really early on, so I pretty much focused on them. That's why I'm not using the B ranks. But the B ranks, I'll be using a couple of them later on in the paint cage and in the so-called, what was it called, in the war zone. So you will see that they are still useful. And again, I don't want any shots. I don't want any shots fired at anyone. But I'm just saying, in other games, the starter characters aren't good at all. I'm not even joking. Like in this game, everything is viable. Like I could just stay like on the first 3 characters like 100%, like without even spending the black cards. I'd be at the same point where I'm now. Like pretty much, skill is what matters in this game the most. And in other games, you have to wail for gear, and pretty much yeah. All right, well, but more on that on the next on the second part of the video, like I said. All right, well, you might be thinking, what the fuck is what the fuck is the frame rate so high? Well, it is. It fucking is, and yeah, scary actually. Like the frame rate is high. It's actually scary. Like they achieved such level of detail that I don't know. I'm just saying these developers are doing God's work in terms of optimization so far, and GG for that. Oh, okay. That was an interesting little picture there. If you paid attention to the picture, you would see that Kalenina did actually put her mortar inside of Asleeve's ass. That was kind of hilarious. I will post that picture with my Discord mates. I'm sure that they will laugh at it. Like they would think that it is funny. Alright, well, nice. Cleared the Babylon Tower, and it was actually really good. I actually enjoyed it so far. Alright, well, I wasn't tryhard enough, that's true, I agree. Well, let's see the story, how the story chapters actually look, some of them. So, regarding the story, by far, every story chapter is unique in terms of stage design and in terms of stuff like that. As you can see here, this stage is absolutely gorgeous. Like holy shit! I'm trying like to be honest, and I'm honest. Like this stage is my personal favorite in terms of design, in terms of overall color. Since I think we're like high up in the sky on a platform in the atmosphere, and it looks absolutely amazing. Again, nice work developers for giving us such a nice looking game with such nice looking frame rate so far. Just keep looking at the frame rate. I don't mind. Just look at the frame rate, and I bet both of my balls that the frame rate will not drop below 59 even once. And I think it didn't drop to below 59. Like it is 59-60 constantly, or also known as 60 frames per second. So yeah, again, some developers need to learn from these developers. Alright, well, on to the next, pretty much next story stage. This is the latest story chapter, chapter 9. And it pretty much takes place in a station in orbit, which I pretty much like. And like I said, every story chapter in this game is unique. In terms of overall design, in terms of enemies as well. Each update brings us new updated enemies, pretty much I guess as the virus progresses it mutates, haha, ironically, that's kinda how viruses work. As they spread they can mutate, they can separate their strains and pretty much be less lethal or more lethal. Usually the ones that are more lethal tend to die out first because, well, that's evolution. That's how evolution works. And I guess these viruses here kind of evolved, but again, this is anime, this is pretty much a game, so creators can pretty much do whatever they like, and can be good if they execute it good. And so far they did do a fantastic job on the. They did a fantastic job on the game overall. Alright, nice. That was a fantastic looking evasion. And these stages also so far have been really good. Now you might be wondering what phone you have. Well, I will not disclose the phone. Like I usually put the specs in the description down below. But yeah, it is a gaming phone pretty much, so you can expect flagship performance out of it. So yeah, that's good. Even my old phone can run this game pretty well on Android 10 on a custom ROM, which I will be reviewing really soon. Since I think me being tampering with custom ROMs and kernels for a while, I can pretty much do a good review on it. I like an honest review, and the performance is kind of surprising, like really surprising. Anyway, just trying to find some good angles for you, but unfortunately this map does not let me find good angles. I cannot zoom in on this waifu's, upper bouncy parts. Even though her upper bouncy parts aren't bouncy, she is pretty much, how do you call it? A washing board, yeah. Flat is justice, don't get me wrong. Hopefully the FBI will not bust my ass in this moment, in this very moment. I can already hear the sirens on the outside. Holy shit. Alright, I'm clearing the stage. Now, talking about the stages and overall difficulty. These stages are difficult and they require you to pretty much get to know the game in terms of you need to actually sit your ass down and actually play. Even if you wail, if you don't know how to use the characters, you're pretty much like fucked anyway. So skill is something that so far matters the most in this game, and like I said, games that actually push skill deserve to be praised in this day and age. AA. So yeah, gotta praise the games that push skill and free to playness, of course. So far, like don't get me wrong, I shit on all games equally. Like that's I usually say this a lot. I shit on all games equally when there is need to be shot on them actually. So even when these developers make a mistake, I will definitely point it out without a second, like without a doubt. But so far, I don't see the developers making like any major mistakes with the game itself. Like they don't make mistakes in terms of nerfing a character. They don't make mistakes in terms of like ninja nerfing, of making the game pay to win, stuff like that. These developers just don't do. Did they fuck up in the? Did they fuck up? Oh yeah, they did. Did they fuck up before? Yes, they did. Like they did fuck up before with the overall black card fiasco upon release, right? They had a court case, right? And some things they did fuck up. They did. Are they trying to cover it up? Well, no. Are they trying to be better? Well, definitely, yeah, they are definitely trying to be better. Unlike other companies who blame the player, these developers, I think, kind of realized that they fucked up, and yeah, they are trying to change. While other developers make a crappy product and tell you buy a new phone, you know. Blame the Rock 2 for giving 2 frames per second in their game. You know, I mean, other game companies tell you, oh look, 2 frames per second on a Snapdragon 855 Plus. Ah, it's the Snapdragon, you know, it's too slow to run the game, right? And they tell you to buy a new phone despite their being already top tier. So yeah, but enough of that. And well, here we have more of chapter 9. One of my favorite overall mechanics and overall maps in this game definitely is this one. The overall gameplay of this map absolutely fantastic. We have puzzles, and also, did you see the background? Just look at the fucking frame rate and tell me. Just look at the fucking frame rate and just tell me which game runs better, this one or the game that I'll be pretty much playing after this in the same succession. It will be fucking glorious to read the comments. I'm just telling you, like the comments are going to be a fucking war zone. Alright, let me put these lasers in their respective places. There we go. You see, just look at the frame rate. Now, I have no idea, since this is Android 10. Android 10 sucks big time for recording. I don't know at what frame rate the recorder will record the video. I really hope that it will record it in 60 frames per second, but as you can see, the frame rate in this game is absolutely fantastic. So for maximum settings, of course, 1080p. And despite having so many moving details in the background, as you can see, everything is pretty much moving, and it is pretty much on a grand scale of things. This map is indeed huge. Like, this map is indeed enormous, and the game still runs fine with all those graphical details in the virtual memory of the graphics cards. Runs pretty damn good, if you ask me. Don't you love when the developers actually optimize custom hardware for the game? I love that. Look at that. Let's just look at the background. Look at all these things. And interestingly enough, if you play this entire story, you can visit everything. Every one of these rings is playable. You pretty much progress from the outermost ring. You progress to the center part of the ring, where you fight the boss. Amazing. They definitely did a fantastic job with that. Alright, well, let's keep on playing, I guess. Let's see. I think it's time to play Pain Cage. Or should I say the misogynistic cage? Just kidding, that's the Babylon Tower when you max out the difficulties, which I don't dare to do, honestly. Well, time to challenge a Leon over here. Now, let me just, yeah, everything is, oh, well, it's not ready actually. Let me switch to Lucia Dawn, the robo-ass Lucia. The Lucia that got criticized for being a robotic ass, for not being eludable. I mean, some comments were fucking glorious. I'm just gonna tell you that. Like, unfortunately, YouTube is kinda funky, so I can't show you the comments right here. But it's hilarious what some people said. Alright, well, so this is Pain Cage, pretty much the equivalent of Memorial Arena in Honkai. Pretty much same crap in terms of what you're doing inside of it. You're pretty much fighting some bosses. The only major difference is for Pain Cage over here, you actually need skill. For Pain Cage, you actually need skill. Wailing won't get you far here, trust me. Once you hit like the higher difficulty bosses, even if you're a whale, you still need to know how to play. If you don't know how to play, you're fucked. Just let me tell you that straight out loud, without any bullshit. If you don't know how to play, you're fucked, and that's a fact. Some bosses are more vicious than others. The Leon one, one of my Discord mates pretty much was salty, and I would tell what he said, but it's kinda not safe for work. Like, even from my standards, even from my high standards, I curse a lot here. I kinda feel bad about saying it, so I will pretty much leave that to your imagination, to pretty much imagine what he said, if I can't even say it. So yeah, that's kinda hilarious and funny, and glorious at the same time. Alright, well, let me go full misogynistic mode over here, and let me experience the pain, and let me enjoy the pain. Oh man. Well, this is the motherfucker Leon. Already I kinda don't like this piece of shit boss, honestly, because I suck at fighting it, because, well, yeah, I still need to get good, honestly. I still didn't develop my skills in this game long enough to be actually professional at it, but I'm working on it, I'll be there, trust me, I'll be there. Not the first, not the last game I'll fucking play where I reached professional levels, trust me. And okay, well, this character, as you can see, whoops his ass. And over here, if you pretty much want to know how to experience the game, it's pretty much like Dark Souls once you hit highest difficulty. The bosses will have 30 HP bars, will be tanky as fuck, and can one or two shot you. And again, one major difference between other similar games is, that you actually have stamina. You can't dodge all you like. You can't tap on the evasion button like a madman and expect to survive. No, that's not gonna happen here. You have to time shit. And one mistake, one wrong evasion, you're done for. Like you're dead. You can retry if you want, but again, one mistake and you're done for. Especially with the first boss in this round, which I unfortunately forgot to play, which because I suck, I forgot to play it unfortunately. And for example, that boss is tricky. You pretty much have to memorize their patterns. Infinite evasions, yeah, not gonna work here. Miss me with that. This actually requires some. What does that? Holy shit! I started to roast. Oh my god! I have to cut that out. Holy shit! All right, let me just 30 minutes 47 seconds. All right, yeah. You will not hear that part. It will be muted. Yeah, it's too dangerous to be out. Too dangerous to be said. All right, let me pop this beauty's ultimate. And also the character design. Well, characters in this game are phenomenally detailed, phenomenally, exceptionally designed in terms of the overall details that they have. The details that they have put into these characters is also very scary. What does that mean, scary? Usually there is that notion. Mobile games will never be close to PC games in terms of quality, and console games, well, scary to say that this game actually kind of breaks that barrier, in a way. I do play this game on my monitor, so sometimes when I plug in my phone, since I can emulate Windows on my phone pretty much, in terms of I have Windows mode on my phone, and I can load in the game and play it via keyboard and mouse on PC. And honestly speaking, when I play it on an actual bigger screen on a PC, if someone would ask me without telling me what game it is, if someone would ask me, is this game a mobile game or a PC game or a console game, I would probably say honestly a console or PC game, like legit, without even thinking, because of how detailed it actually is. There is no pixelation, no low detail to be seen anywhere in the game, pretty much. The game looks also more scarier when I play it on 2K or 4K. When you run the game at 4K, I get goosebumps honestly, because the detail is just crazy. Didn't expect such amount of detail on a mobile game. And some people said back in the day that this game runs at some resolutions that are impossible to run by phones, and some form of that is actually correct, since back in the day the game kinda was also too smallish. It was pretty much running constantly 1080p 1440p for PCs, pretty much, like it ran at PC aspect ratios most of the time, and that pretty much was something that I think was fixed with the recent updates. Like this is played on a 21 by 9 this aspect ratio screen, so that's why you might see those borders, since I think my recorder doesn't actually support 21 by 9, but that's not a big deal, since most devices can pretty much zoom in on the YouTube video, because it is actually most phones are 18 by 9 and up in aspect ratio on their displays, so that's pretty much good. And I forgot to mention, this is Warzone, one of my favorite game modes in the game, honestly, because it's just so fun to play, rewarding. You don't have to wail to get the rewards, and pretty friendly, honestly. And as you can see, all of these maps differ from each other. And the best looking Warzone map, is pretty much at the physical stage, the second chapter. That map is by far the best looking one in the game. Overall, the details just fantastic. And I just noticed that my frame rate meter died. What the fuck was that all about? Oh well, anyway, it doesn't matter. The game is running at 60 frames per second. Unfortunately for other games, it runs actually 60 frames per second stable. So yeah, that's kinda funny and at the same time scary and glorious. Like Kuro Games, nice work. Honestly impressed by your performance. We know that they fucked up a couple times, and yeah, they did. There is no denying they did fuck up. But game-wise, they didn't fuck up the game, so that's important. The game is still fantastic and running extremely smooth. Well, that was nice. And well, after I pretty much clear this Warzone stage, we're going to jump at our lovely beloved Honkai Impact 3rd, and well, we will compare that game with this game pretty much in the same manner that I did with the first part of the video. Pretty much I will state facts about the game, like I stated facts about this game, about the developers as well, and pretty much around most of the stuff that's going on in those games, and overall, starting from the overall UI, from the UI to the characters, to the overall performance, to the overall technical details that are really extremely important to know and to differentiate these games, and of course to know the differences between those two games, which is really important. Alright, well, that was nice, that was smooth. I could have played better, honestly, but yeah, I suck, so it doesn't matter. Alright, well, let's see what I'm about to do next over here. And yeah, well, we here now officially start the second part of the video. And well, let's load up Honkai Impact 3rd over here. And well, as you can see, the main difference between these two games is the overall quality level, the detail level, the overall colors. The art style is also kind of different. Art stylish speaking, Honkai is more colorful, more goes on the more anime type of design, while Punishing Graveyard is also anime but combined with a dark theme, and sometimes I would say it has some realistically looking graphics, quotation marks there. So that's pretty much one of the main differences. The overall colors is definitely noticeable, the differences between them. We see we're on the bridge of the Hyperion, while in the other game we are pretty much in the base, in the New Eden, I believe. And well, pretty much same thing applies to this game. We can also switch characters in and out, we can pretty much give them gifts, we can interact with them, we can tap on them, well, at least we could tap on them, but that was long ago. Here you can see the captain details, or my own details about my own character over here, my own captain. These are the event menus, game menus that you can see. You can enter some events from here. These are the missions. On the all of them are located on the left side. We have the bonuses, mails, stuff like that. That was the mail, news, and on the bottom we have the chat, which I forgot to mention. In Punishing Graveyard we also have chat. When you tap on the Valkyrie menu, you can pretty much inspect all of the Valkyries. You can pretty much temper their level. You can change the gear, pretty much same stuff that you can do in Punishing Graveyard. You can pretty much do from this menu over here in Honkai. Pretty much, you can also change costumes and overall stuff like that. Improve them, level them up. You can't loot them. That's for sure. 99% are Yuri, so yeah, good luck with that. Here you can see the weapon, stigma menu, skill menu, level up menu, pretty much stuff there that you can tamper with. The overall basic attributes are on one spot. Pretty much both games have done that pretty nicely, pretty decently. And again, same stuff for another Valkyrie. Again, both games have their own respective ways of representing this stuff, which is in both games it is pretty much like okay. I don't mind it, like it works. That's what matters. It matters that it actually works, which it does. So that's good. Over here we can see the weapons, stuff like that, equipment in general overall. This is the elf menu, something that we have only in Honkai, while in Punishing Raven we don't have any support structures yet, like a support miniature structure that will join the main ones. So far that's still not introduced in the game in any way, shape or form. This is the main menu, pretty much where you can go to co-op, you can pretty much play other stuff. I'll be returning to that in a second. This is Honkai's dorm system, quite reworked from the last time, but nonetheless it pretty much has the same purposes. Dorm squad level can increase your stats. Valkyrie, on the Valkyrie selection screen you can pretty much increase your faction with Valkyrie, and you can pretty much tamper with other Valkyrie stuff. You can pretty much get other dorm level, and again, nice stuff like that. And this is the dorm itself. Quite laggy, honestly. It was unoptimized since day one. Interestingly enough, the developers didn't fix it. Imagine my shock about that. And well, pretty much same stuff that you can do in the Punishing Raven's dorm, you can pretty much do here. Approximately, they serve the same purpose. And the difference is over here you have stamina bars, while in Punishing Raven you can pretty much chill out with the girls and with the boys as well. Oh, I just said the. Oh, okay, I just said the forbidden words in Honkai. Male. Holy shit, I'm about to get fucking banned. Oh my god. Well, sarcasm aside, there is one also main difference between these games. You don't have any males. Having males in this game is considered pretty much blasphemy. Or how do you call it? Like, yeah, not blasphemy. Oh my god. Well, I forgot what I just wanted to say. But anyway, you just don't ask about males in Honkai, or you'll get set on fire pretty much, not even joking. You'll be set on fire, you'll be like, yeah, pretty much, just don't say anything about males in Honkai. It is the forbidden word, right? Well, anyway, bad jokes aside, unfortunately those bad jokes are based on reality, but whatever. Well, over here we have one of the story stages. Again, looks pretty nice. I will not complain about the graphics over here. They look good. Cannot complain about the graphics over here. They pretty much serve their purpose. Although, one thing that still is a problem, and that doesn't add to the prettiness and the beauty of the game, is the oversaturated HDR. HDR in this game literally hurts my eyes, and other people have said that too. HDR in this game is poorly done. In terms of it is too shiny. Like, I get it, people like shiny stuff, that's okay. Back glass of my phone is also shiny, I love it, I get it. But that shine looks nice without being oversaturated and without being too much shiny. That's one thing that I kinda don't like about the graphics in this game. That's the only thing that I pretty much don't like about the graphics in this game. And I am being honest, like usually I leave everything on because I know people like to see max graphics, including the HDR, but it's not pretty if it's like just shining like a light bulb, just saying. Also, major difference between these two games is, well, the game engine. Honkai's Unity engine is approximately 5 years old at this point, and pretty much that engine wasn't designed to do things that the developers put the game to run it on, and that gives problems, frame rate problems. You will see some frame rate problems here, definitely. Frame rate problems, glitches, bugs, instability, crashing and stuff like that. Pretty much it's partially due to the game engine being outdated and pretty much operating at its peak capacity, which is, again, technology progresses. Old engines should be replaced by newer ones, since if you keep upgrading the game, you will reach a point where the engine cannot run it anymore because of the sheer complexity of the game. And well, unfortunately, I didn't enable the frame rate counter due to the fact that the developers banned people for using third-party software, including controllers. If you play with a controller, if you have mapped, like if you have keys mapped on your screen, it can be considered as a third-party software, and you can get a lovely, lovely, lovely infinite suspension. So, yikes. Just saying that. And overall, honestly, the frame rate so far hasn't been 60 frames per second, like legit. More like 30, 40, which again, it's not lagging. I will not complain. It's not lagging. That's what matters. The lag. Mostly, what pisses me off most of the time is lag. Low frame rate. Well, if it's like 30, 40, yeah, I can look through it. Yeah, but lag spikes, lagging. Fuck no. Holy shit. Nope. That's something I cannot forgive. Well, that was one of the stages. Again, the stages in this game also look pretty. I like the map design. Although some of these like maps sometimes get too how do you call it, overused. Like I don't see the same originality in this game as I've seen in Punishing Raven. What does that mean? Well, the developers pretty much recycle some maps for some events, or pretty much recycle some maps from older chapters into newer chapters, which I honestly I get it, but at the same time I kinda don't, because freshness of a game is determined by the freshness of the content. If they pretty much put the same map all over again, time after time after time after time, it gets boring. Like they can change the gameplay, they can change the character, but the overall map, if the map is kind of the same, it pretty much gives the same feeling of, again, repetitiveness. For example, Memorial Arena map, I don't like this map at all. It would be really nice if the map was interchangeable. Like, if they had, for example, 10 maps that change day after day, that would be nice. I wouldn't be complaining if they had maps that change, right? Even if they are 10 maps, if they change themselves, each time you would feel the new feeling of refreshness, and again, it would give you the feeling of again, freshness in the game, and overall new stuff and new content. So that's what pretty much matters. But if they keep on spamming the same map all over again, that's something that I don't like. And I really hope that they change it, honestly. That's what I have a problem. Well, not a problem, but something that I kind of don't like. I don't like something that's too repetitive, since it gets boring, and that's a fact. So partially I am trying to help over here, to give honest opinion and pretty much honest game review as a gamer overall. And well, we are playing Memorial Arena over here, we are torturing the salty tuna, and well, you can definitely see the differences between the Memorial Arena in this game and the paint cage in Punishing Grey Raven. Well, both are, well, I will be careful what I'm saying here, right? In Punishing Grey Raven, you actually have to have skill to finish it, right? Over here, that's not the case, and I'm being honest. Honest as I have like the top tier Valkyries here, and all of them maxed out. I pretty much don't even try to play, and I still get a fairly decent score. So this game kinda lacks the skill requirement that you pretty much have in Punishing Grey Raven over here, for at least so far. Okay, well, and that pretty much brings to the theme of well, when we are talking about we are talking about skill. Co-op, for example, the all infamous co-op in this game. Back in the day, it was actually like based on some teamwork, based on some actual teamwork. Now play in this day and age, in this current version, for a while that's not been the case. You pretty much go first of the region and solo the boss with 1 plus 1.5 million damage without a sweat breaking. Not to mention that in this game, by some with magic, some older Valkyries get weaker over time. Interesting how that works. For example, the good old salty tuna is not salty anymore. She's pretty much useless because in co-op she will crash the game 7 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 times, depends on the luck. And yeah, that's been around for half a year now, more than half a year. And why aren't the developers fixing that? Like, she's literally useless, for example. The salty tuna was one of the highest damage dealers back in the day when she was released. Now my Valkyrie bracelet outperforms her big time. Like, what the fuck is going on there? Like, that's something that I pretty much don't like that they're doing. They make other Valkyries obsolete. Not to mention the rigged abyss upon release of a new Valkyrie. Just pay attention. Here is a little game that we all can play, right? When a new Valkyrie gets kind of released, pay attention to what her elemental type is, right? And pay attention to overall her purpose. I can bet both of my balls again that the first 4 weeks or the first 2 weeks when that character gets released, everything will be benefiting that character. Pretty much everything will benefit that character, while the previous meta will get fucked in the asshole by pretty much the weather and by ninja nerfs. Just saying, that's a little game that we can play, right? And again, in Punishing Grey Raven, so far the B ranks, the game has been out for like what, 5 months. The B ranks are just as good as the S ranks, honestly. Like, you can do the same shit with B ranks as you can with S ranks, S classes in the game. So yeah, I don't know what funky crap is going on there, but something is fishy. Alright, well, let's play the events in this game. Let me just get out this half-salted tuna over here. And you might think, well, VP, aren't you a bit too harsh? No, I'm being realistic. I'm trying to help both games here, honestly. Like, I am trying to be honest as much as I can and to give things as they are. Like, that's my main purpose. I hate lying. I hate making shit up, and I'm just being honest. Like I said, I roast all games equally. I don't give a fuck. Even Eve Echoes, when that game comes out, if they fuck up, holy shit, I can't wait to roast that game. Not even joking. I can't wait to roast that game. Well, this is the what the fuck? I played this before. Oh yeah, recycled event again. Not a good choice. Like, you don't recycle events and expect people to enjoy them. Like, and the lag. What the fuck is with the lag? With the stutter? Like, give me a break. And also, since this is turning out in me ranting, let me just fix my words over here, right, really quickly. This game has been out for like what, 3 years, right? 3 years, and some 2-year-old bugs are still present. At least on the Southeast Asian server. I don't know what's the situation on global, honestly. Like, I didn't play global in a while, and I have some issues on global, so I can't play it. But overall, I'm just saying, the developers really need to fix some issues. I'm being honest. I'm trying to help them. They really need to fix some issues if they want to stay relevant. Other games that are coming out don't have these issues, as you could see in the first part of the video. Yeah, find lag and stutter in Punishing Raven. Yeah, go for it, try it. In my case, it doesn't appear, and I had a frame rate count, which I don't have here because, well, I would be banned if I had the frame rate count. So yeah, Mihola, please, I beg you, Mihola, please, just fix the game. Listen to the prayers. Don't tell us to buy new phones when we don't need to buy new phones. Fix the code. Like, I don't know. Even like, I have a friend, like, I had a Rock 2. It's dead now, by the way. It got lost. I have a friend who has the Rock 2 still. He's using it. And imagine what? Turns out my 5-year-old fucking S6 Edge runs this game better than his Rock 2. Yeah, imagine my shock, right? That makes no sense. The Rock 2 is fucking beast, and it struggles with Honkai, so give me a break. Fix your game, please. Like, I'm being honest, trying to help. But anyway, I have played this event a while ago, and I wasn't a big fan of this event because it's too much of a whalefest and too much of a, well, not tryhard, but mostly whalefest, forced difficulty, forced HP bars, which again, I'm not a fan of. It's not Honkai, it doesn't feel like Honkai, honestly. And here I should be close to the mecha, but whatever. But overall, the stage design is also pretty nice. I cannot complain about the stage design. It looks pretty good. Like the overall detail is there. Like cannot complain about the detail because it's nice. Like overall, I like how it looks. And I can't move. What the fuck was that all about? Alright, so like I mentioned, problems with this game are the the repetitiveness of it, the recycled stages, the frame rate, and the broken green fest and pay to win that's slowly eating this game alive. And as you can see, I have 30,000 crystals, 31 or 30, I have no idea. And you can see that I did play for a while, all farmed. So yeah, and the rest of the event is pretty much same stuff, honestly. We played this before. I pretty much know all these events by number and pretty much know what's gonna happen in all of them. So that's a example of an event in Honkai. And well, now I can play on the. I can go and choose the Abyss. Oh man, oh man. This is where stuff gets funny. You know, Diraxi, we have Diraxi, we had 33 floors of Doom. Ah, the good old days. I miss the good old days in this game. So we have Abyss, we have the other game mode, the Quantum Singularis, which requires you to have specifics. And also, besides it requiring you to have specifics, other, well, for example, when was the last time you saw physical buff in Red Lotus? Honestly, I haven't seen in Diraxi, I haven't seen a physical damage buff in Red Lotus in like fucking 5 months or so. And I retain Red Lotus pretty much constantly. Maybe I dropped like once, you know, twice, something like that. If something went wrong, maybe, but mostly I did retain. And we have so many Abyss modes, and instead of the developers actually improving the existing Abyss modes, they just keep adding new stuff on top of the old stuff. Which is why, just why, keep one fucking shit and upgrade that one thing that's there in the game. There is no need to spam Abyss modes when there is only one. One is only that we need. One is only that we need, and you can improve it. Like add new content to it, like stuff like that. Improve it, but don't add too much new shit because people will not like it. And especially they will not like it when you introduce something like Quantum Singularis, and when you introduce Quantums and make them literally and make players dependable on Quantums to earn high scores. That's fucking pay to win. We're approaching the pay to win. This is pay to win, since you actually need to have a specific gear in order to compete and in order to get rewards. That's dangerous. I'm just saying. I've been playing games for like 20 fucking years now. More like, yeah, literally 20 years, which kind of doesn't make sense with my age. But yeah, I started gaming on an early stage, right? And am I kind of proud of that? Well, kind of. At the same time, I wish I was doing something else, but too late for that now, so I have to live with it. Okay, jokes today. And also, something that you will not hear me complain about in Punishing Really, but you will hear me complaining in Honkai a lot, is the overall responsiveness of the game. What does that mean? Well, this game has a history of not having proper plans. Like, the evasion doesn't work, the charged attack doesn't work, the touchpad stops working, stuff like that. And you also get constant problems with the crashing and with the what was it called? The error screens that keep popping up all the time. So yeah, again, that means that this game needs to be fixed. But overall, everything I've heard recently is get a new phone, buy a new phone, you know, get better internet connection, ironically, the Punishing Grave Event server is absolute shit. Like, their server is absolute potato, and I am not even joking. My PC, my trash PC, would be a better server than Punishing Grave Event's server. Their server is fucking potato, and count include the potato server and include the distance to the server. Yeah, I play with 10-second delay co-op. It's still smooth though, and I can still do it because the game overall is responding to input commands. Even though it's delayed, it's responding. Something that we don't have a problem with in Honkai. Even though on the Southeast Asian crippled server, I do have login problems. Sometimes I can log in easier in Punishing Grey Raven on peak China hour than I can log in the Southeast Asian server lowest peak hour. Something is not right there. So I don't know, just saying. That's what it is, and I can't change it whether I like it or not. So honestly speaking, kinda worried about Honkai when Punishing Grey Raven hits like the global market. And that will happen as the game gets more popular, since so far things are going, we unfortunately will have a competition and a war zone in the comment section, and the fandoms will pretty much pull fucking crusades against each other, which I suggest you bring popcorn, because, well, holy shit, that's gonna be a fucking show. And overall, this is like my honest opinion on both these games, and trust me, I play and I love both games, and I love and play both games for a while, and I want to see both games do good. So not a hating situation, just a criticism situation. Like, I criticize what needs to be criticized, and I praise what should be praised. And here you can see the game stopped responding to input commands and I died. Well, anyway. Well, this was a long ass video, holy shit. 61 minutes, oh man. Well, again, this was the overall comparison between these two games. Their differences, their similarities. Overall, they share the same genre, ARPG title. They don't share the same gameplay. Gameplay is similar, not the same. And overall, both games are better at one thing than the other. That means both have their advantages and disadvantages. Again, Punishing Grey Raven has the advantage in better code, in being more, I guess, developed, in using a more advanced engine, and in actually fixing problems with the game. Well, it has problems with the server, and the company made some shady mistakes in the past, but they show signs of improvement. While in Honkai, we have English support. Most importantly, we have English support. We have like pretty much older game. The game has more players. The developers are alright, although I don't like some things that they do. And well, pretty much I think that would be it. I don't want to take more of your time. It's been my pleasure to play this for you, and well, pretty much to be open-minded about it. And well, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Take care.